मेरा स्क्रीन विजिबल है ना आप लोगों को?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. The last class we had talked about strategic HRM. Like we started with the definition of strategic HRM. What is the model of strategic HRM? This is one of the very good models given by Armstrong. How Ulrich has defined like HR has to be aligned with the overall organizational strategy and has to work with different departments and set up for achieving the best organizational goals and objectives. Then we have come across the HR strategic roles, the 7 steps of going strategy. We'll talk about what is HR strategy. Overally, when we talk about HR strategy overally relates with performance, employee engagement. The big idea actually, employee engagement matlab how employees are engaging themselves in the organization, not only with the work, but as a whole in the organization. Uh, when it comes to performance of not only the people who are in the job, but performance of the whole of the department as a whole. Performance of the department as a whole, performance of the entire organization. Then the big idea about the human capital. Human capital is like human resource planning of wherever there will be a demand for the human resource, whatever skill will be in demand, and supplying of that human resource in that area. Then HR as a process, advantage of the areas, advantage of the departments, advantage of the areas, advantage of the department. This is an overally HR areas we'll be looking for. But when it comes to specific, they will be looking for organization development, like any kind of interventions that are required for developing an organization. Corporate social responsibility, as it has already been defined by the laws, legal way, like every organization, they will be contributing 2% of their overall profit for corporate social responsibility. Corporate social responsibility also includes many areas, different areas of getting where HR separately has created a department of CSR. Then resourcing is nothing but your recruitment and selection, talent management, learning and development, employee reward, employee relations, and employee well-being. This is actually one of the emerging areas that has come up with employee well-being is something looked after, like with this pandemic, with this uh, employee well-being is one such aspect which has been I would say like is actually one of the core areas of HR today. And it depends how HR of different organizations, how HR of different companies are going by it. There are very good companies who are looking after the employee well-being. There are very good companies, there are very good ways of looking after the employee well-being. Last year when the pandemic started, somewhere in the month of August 2020, I, along with a second year student, that second year student is an HR with Kalyani Lemurs. Kalyani Lemurs, are you people aware about Kalyani Lemurs? It is one of the manufacturing companies. So he's an HR manager and he's an HR specialization student, second year student over here. He's quite senior person. So we had conducted one study, and that too on core manufacturing organizations, and we had segregated the employees over there. Say by segregation we mean that we had taken all the white collar employees, like everyone who is into the office job. Okay, we hadn't taken the blue collar employees. So while studying that manufacturing organization, we had taken only Kalyani Lemurs as one of our area, as we are not that confident that our study will be that much efficient, or our study will be a high success. So we had just taken a very small area of 82 employees, 82 white collar employees. We had individually reached to every employee, asking about how they are doing, how this pandemic has affected them, how this pandemic has affected their family, and how being in a manufacturing sector, how good it is like you're working from home. Like it's the first thing, this pandemic actually showed us like everything which was not thought of is actually possible. Like manufacturing employees moving down to home moving down to work from home scenario. So we had actually asked like what is this work from home kind of thing that you people are working about? What is this? How do you feel about it? Like, so every day you used to go to office. How do you feel about it? You will be very surprised to hear the answers, and that to people of different age groups. We have segregated them. You are you'll be very surprised to hear that the only one thing while doing a statistical analysis, we did a SPSS. SPSS is one of the higher statistics packages. We did a statistical analysis on it. We did and there were higher methods of statistics which I guess you will not understand now. When we run that test, the only one thing that came into existence was well-being, employee well-being. It was only one thing which came into existence. We had collected somewhat 24 factors. 24 factors was not okay for us to analyze, so we rotated them. There is a rotated component matrix. There is one software. We rotated them. While rotating, we came across six such factors which were affecting the employees of manufacturing sector. While we got some of the six factors, while we got some of the factors which we are thinking, like people were missing the face-to-face meeting, people were very much afraid that even if they are performing, the performance is not being seen while working from home. People the kind of work environment that happens, it is quite slower in the home environment. And the most important thing that came out was employee mental well-being. It was the most important thing. Like people you will not be revealing the thing actually जो हमने raw data collect किया था उसमें से ही लाया था. Like लोग बोल रहे हैं कि even if we are sitting at home, it is a very comfortable environment, but everybody's home is not the same. Everybody cannot contribute that every, like there were people who were happy that they are at home and they are working. There are people who are very unhappy, and that was something which is affecting their mental well-being. The first thing we had noticed among those while we were doing was there was a mental anxiety kind of thing which came up into their mind. We had published that paper in a journal, and we had also presented that paper in an international conference that was very well received by everyone. So this employee well-being is one such area where today's HR has to focus, and today HR has started focusing on. आप अगर बोलोगे कि लाइक हमारे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में नहीं पूछते हैं, देन आई वुड से लाइक it depends from person to person. Like somebody who is very passionate about understanding the people, somebody who is very passionate about dealing with how the employees are doing, they of course are going to take a chance. They of course are going to interact with everyone. Like I know organizations which are literally interacting with people and literally they are taking care of their employees. So when it comes to HR strategy areas, employee well-being is one such open area. Employee well-being is one such emerging areas where HR has to work on. I'll give you some of the examples of how overall HR strategies are there in organizations, and I'll give you examples of different organizations. Like for example, GlaxoSmithKline is one of the pharma companies. GlaxoSmithKline is one of the pharma companies where they say, like we want GSK to be a place where the best people best people do their best work. Matlab they are aiming that there should be a right person who would be in the right job and they have to perform very good. Then there is another company called as Boots, where their HR strategy shows like have to maintain a competitive advantage by continuing to attract very high caliber people. Okay, Boots is one such company which says like we have to maintain a competitive advantage and we have to attract very high caliber people. Like people automatically will be coming and would want to work for you. Then there is another called as New Forest Council, which says like this New Forest Council is not an Indian company, neither an Indian organization. They say like a strong focus on the overall effectiveness of the organization, its direction, and its performing. There is commitment to believe in and respect for individuals. Well, this is one new thing that you will be reading here. When we talk about well-being, this is what I'm talking about. Like there is a commitment to the people, there is a belief in the people, and there is a respect for each individual who is working in that company. Another one is the only HR strategy you really need is the tangible expression of values and implementation of the values inside the organization. This is Platonic Optronics, another German company. It stimulates changes on a broad front aimed at achieving competitive advantage through people. Like people who are inside that organization, people should be driving the change, people should be driving the growth, and people should be the one person who would be bringing competitive advantage for the company. This is Land's End. Which company is it? Which company is it? This is a company which has a presence in India. Okay, staffs who are enjoying themselves, are being supported and developed, and who feel fulfilled and respected at work, provide the best service to the customers. Staffs who are enjoying themselves and are being supported and developed and who feel fulfilled and respected at work will provide the best service to the customers. Land's End. This is there in India. Look out which organization I'm talking about. This is a company which is in India, which is very near to you, in fact. Okay. These are some of the strategic HR guidelines, like what HR has to do when they are framing the strategy part. This is something which you will be reading yourself. I'll move to the next part. The next part we are coming to is there are two models of HR. One is your Harvard model and another one is your SHRM model. The Harvard model is actually one model that has been developed by Beer, B-E-E-R. Hello.
Hello. हाँ मैडम रिकॉर्डिंग चालू करते हैं का?
I'm so sorry. Thank you. किसने याद दिलाया?
प्रणव लोखंडे मैडम.
Thank you so much.
हेलो मैम.
हेलो. यस
मैम प्रीवियस स्लाइड दिखा सकते हैं आप एक बार वापस से?
ये
नहीं, इसके नीचे वाला. हाँ,
ये
बस एक
स्ट्रैटेजिक HRM गाइडलाइंस.
ओके मैम, थैंक यू.
Then we talk about two models of HR. One is your Harvard model, another one is called as your matching model. Harvard model is actually one model which is developed at Harvard University by one professor called as Beer, B-E-E-R, in the year 1984. And this Harvard model represents the map of human resource. The Harvard model represents the map of human resource management territory, like which are the areas that HRM has to deal with. They are further developed by one person called as Boxall, and he calls this model as a Harvard framework. Harvard framework, and it deals with the historical human resource management areas that every managers have to focus on, that every manager can redevelop a standard way and however they wish to see their employees involved and developed in the organization. This is what the Harvard model is. Is this font clear to you? Like here there is a stakeholders group. In the stakeholders group you have your management, employees, government, trade unions. Then there are certain situational factors. Like what are the business strategy, what is the workforce type, how is that labor market, what are the laws, what are the cultures, what are the social values, what are the unions, how is the union working over there, what is the management philosophy, what is the task technology. Situational factors are the factors where we do not have any control on them. Situational factors are otherwise known as environmental factors. For example, if you are looking for the labor market, suppose our organization is situated in somewhere down south. When we are telling some, we have to look for the market. Like what is the educational qualification of the people there? Like additionally, they are very good. But what about the technical qualifications of the people over there? How is their behavioral aspect while dealing with the people? How is the behavioral aspect when they are dealing with the people? What are the culture? What are the laws? What are the social values that are governed in those areas? How is the union? How strong is the union over there? How is the government supporting the union over there? What is the management philosophy? These are the factors, environmental or situational factors where we do not have any control over them. Then there are stakeholders in the organization, like the management is one of the major stakeholders, employees, trade unions, your government. All of this contribute to your HR strategies, like reward systems, your employee influence, the work systems, the human resource flow, like whoever works where, and it gives rise to 4 C's, HR outcomes, and it gives rise to 4 C's, like what is the cost, what is the competence, what is the congruence, what is the commitment of those people. Now when we talk about the long term consequences of this HR strategies, it leads to social well-being, it leads to organizational effectiveness, it leads to individual well-being, which in turn, these long-term consequences have a very positive impact on management, employees, government, and union. These long-term consequences have a very nice impact on the situational factors. Even if there is not a nice impact on the situational factors, there can always be a change in the situational factors, which will lead to change in the HR strategies. Every long-term consequences also leads to a change in the HR strategies. This was what I had, like I told you in terms of like layman's language. But then when we see this model, like when human resource management clearly chooses or sets what particular policy, like this here, what particular policy and practice or procedures will lead to achieve the goals of the organization, then only your HR outcomes can be calculated. Like when these HR strategies are one worked upon and decided, then only your HR outcomes will be decided. These HR outcomes will have an effect on the overall goals of the organization. And most important, if you are going to see this model you will see that if there is no strategic vision which can be provided by the management, which can be provided by the top management, higher management, the human resource management or the human HR is more likely to be an independent activity, and each of them is guided by the by its own practice. Initially when an organization is being set up, uh, as a part of consultancy, we had set up 2 new HR departments in 2 organizations. There was nothing called as HR over there. So initially the top management gives a lot many of scope. Initially top management says like decide whatever you want. Once you're set up, we'll decide how good it is on people and then we will carry on. So once if there is no strategic vision that has been provided by the management, अगर management से कुछ भी ऐसे strategic vision नहीं आता है and it is giving an open hand, so HRM department is more likely to be an independent department, independent activity, and it is guided by its own practice. But then one good thing about this model over here is that it acknowledges that there are multiple stakeholders in the organization. It's a very good thing. Like when we talk about the stakeholders, when we talk about the interest, there are multiple stakeholders, there are multiple interest, multiple people where the interest has to be seen while taking on any decision. When we say multiple stakeholders, I repeat again, they are management. We have to see what management wants. Basically, they want minimization of cost and maximization of profit. Employees want that their remuneration should be maximized. Government wants that overall productivity increases, overall social welfare increases, overally that people would be recruited, people would be given work. Okay, and the company should be paying taxes to the government. So in a way of economic activities enhancing, trade unions and trade unions and labor, what we're talking about, they say like there should be less conflict with the organization. There should be less conflict with the organization, and there should be more and more what peace, and there should be more people who are working inside the organization, their welfare should be seen. So somewhere this long-term consequences are what this interest of the stakeholders are, long-term consequences are seen accordingly. This model actually recognizes that those various stakeholders they make a very new pluralistic way of model, and the employees are just like or equal to any stakeholder group. This one model emphasizes that employees are just equal to, and they are very much equal to, or they're very much just like any other stakeholder, they are equally important about it. If you'll see, this model actually has two main characteristics figure. That first one is the line managers ensure that the alignment of personnel policies and competitive strategy, and secondly the personnel mission is to set up policies which will be govern how personnel activities are being developed. The first thing is the managers have to ensure like all the personnel policies or HR policies and whatever competitive strategy is there, it has to be aligned in the terms like it has to be aligned with the overall organization's goals, overall organization objectives. The second is the HR department should see like whatever policies are set up, whatever personnel activities or whatever HR activities are developed or seen, they should be implemented as well as they should be reinforced. To reinforce matlab as a way of practice it should be seen. Reinforcement आपने पढ़ा है ना, it is a way of motivation, like it's a positive motivation.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, it's a positive motivation, reinforcement. So whatever policies, whatever HR will be putting on, it should be seen that those things are followed and it is followed positively. Okay, this model was in 1992, it was heavily criticized, but then it is criticized in a very good way, which says like these policies are actually not guided by the situational or environmental factors. ये जो model आपको दिया गया है, ये जो situational factors हैं, उससे वो guide नहीं हुआ है. Rather, it has taken into consideration the stakeholders, and the positive aspect is the stakeholders are maximized over here. This model is actually providing a very wider picture of what HRM should do, rather than whatever the influence of HRM is. It also has taken into a broad range of factors like business strategy, workforce strategy, labor market. Okay, so this is one of the very good models when it comes to applicability of human resource function and placing more emphasis on the HRM, and with a general concerns with the management as well as personal management. ये वो मॉडल का मैंने दिया है यहाँ पे. This is the SHRM matching model, the second model that I am talking about. This model is actually given by two persons called as Tichy, T-I-C-H-Y, Tichy, and Devanna, D-E-V-A-N-N-A, in 1984 at Michigan Business School. I repeat again, this model has been given by two persons called as Tichy and Devanna in 1984 at the Michigan Business School. This model very popularly is also known as Michigan School model. Okay, ये MCQ है इसलिए मैंने आपको बोल दिया.
Yes, ma'am.
This is given by two persons called as Tichy and Devanna in the year 1984 and at Michigan Business School, and it is very popularly known as Michigan School model. So if you'll see this model, this is a very easy model actually. The human resource system and the structure of the organization, it should be managed incongruent with the strategy of the organization. जो HR का system रहता है या जो अपना जो organization का structure रहता है, it should be managed. जो farm है, see this organizational structure, the business strategy and the HR strategy. So these three things should revolve around that organization. Here, this is actually a cycle. Like it is it doesn't stop anywhere. It doesn't stop anywhere. Like for example, we talk about recruitment and selection. Recruitment and selection is nothing but it refers to a process of choosing a right candidate or a suitable candidate for the organization and matching that right candidate with the right available job in the organization. You are doing recruitment and selection over here. You are matching that person in that structure over here. Now, when we talk about reward management, reward is like both short-term and a long-term achievement. Like if you are rewarding a particular person, it is a long-term achievement also, it is a short-term achievement also. But then one thing must be kept in mind, like the businesses, they must operate and they should be managed in a very sustainable way. Like today you are rewarding a particular person, it is a short-term reward, but then it some way it is related with the strategy of the organization. Some way it is related with the strategy. Matlab long term may it will be said like for a particular work this organization is good in rewarding the people, like in order to ensure that there is a very success among the people, in order to ensure that success today and even if it will have to continue the future, reward is one such strategy of this organization. It's a kind of business strategy of the organization. This model actually emphasizes a tight fit, a very tight fit between the business strategy and the HR strategy. ये जो business strategy है और इस HR strategy है, it emphasizes that there is a tight fit between it. Tight fit मतलब this HR strategy must be very highly calculative of what kind of or what quality of human resources is required to achieve the goals and objectives of the organization. Similarly, the business strategy should be placed in a very central stage and should understand like what are the human resources considered just as other resources. They must be very good, very easily or fully utilized together so that the organizational goals